Hello, people. I've had a bit of a challenging week this week, so I thought I would just sit here, chat to you pretty casually, and we'll have a bit of fun answering some questions and going through some topics that are a little bit interesting. So, someone in my coaching group, I made this post to him because his current goal is to get a job. And it feels like to me he might be procrastinating a little bit. And he said this in his own words. So I made this post here that you can see on the screen. Where I said, what's holding you back from having a job right this second? Have you had anyone offer you any jobs yet? Are you just not taking any of the job offers? Surely one of the warehouses has said yes to you. They tend to be extremely understaffed. So he's applied to a couple of warehouse jobs. I worked in a warehouse myself for about a year and a half, and it was probably my favorite job that I've ever worked. It was absolutely amazing. The people were incredibly amazing, very down to earth, very salt of the earth type people. The work itself was fun. You're basically lifting heavy boxes all day, so I used it as a workout routine all day. Lost a ton of fat. It was just a really great experience. I really liked working at the warehouse. I busted my ass, and one of the reasons why I recommended this guy work in a warehouse, because he was kind of figuring out for context, he just wanted a casual job so that he could go and just talk to some women during the day and not have to stress too much about career. And he says, I'll focus on business and career later in the future, but for now, I just want to improve my dating life. And so I said, just get any job. You could do retail, you could do hospitality, you could work in a cafe or something. Warehouses are great. And so we started applying to a bunch of warehouses. And yeah, warehouses for me, I worked there for about a year, maybe a year and a half, while I was working on building my website up and writing, the massive Tinder guide and stuff like that. For me, the warehouse was brilliant because it gave me the time and the space to do that. They were very flexible. The work was very easy. It was very casual, very chill. And more than anything, what I've found in warehouse jobs, because I have a couple of friends who also have worked a warehouse job, and when I was at the warehouse, I made friends with everybody there, and they told me about their previous experiences with other warehouses. One of the reasons why I really liked working in a warehouse is it's one of those cruisy jobs that are so like easy and just laid back in that. If you actually put in effort, if you really bust your ass, you don't even have to do anything exceptional, but you just work hard. A promotion is basically guaranteed if there's a spot available. Like it really is one of those industries. Retail can be exactly the same, but I especially found in warehouses, and from what the other guys told me, it's one of those places that you'll just get promoted if you even slightly show any initiative. And when I worked at the warehouse job, yeah, I got promoted within like 3 months, and then I got technically promoted again, and then eventually I was working upstairs in the office, and I would still be doing like warehouse stuff as well downstairs, but I get to work like upstairs with the bosses and the owner of the company and all that shit. So it tends to be one of those jobs where if you show any initiative, you get promoted pretty quickly. So it was fun. I really loved working at the warehouse. Probably honestly my most fun, most favorite job. So that's my spiel on warehouses. If anyone's thinking like, do I want to work in a warehouse? Like, fuck yeah. Yeah. I can't say what they will all be like. I'm only speaking from my experience and from what the other guys who had worked or who were working in the warehouse told me previous warehouses were like. But yeah, I really loved working in that warehouse. So anyway, so it seems like this coaching client of mine, or of ours, I guess you would say, in the coaching program, might be procrastinating a little bit, right? It's been a couple of weeks. He's been applying at this point, he's been busting his ass. He's applied for like hundreds of jobs. And so I made this post and I was like, it seems like you've applied for hundreds of jobs. How come you haven't taken one yet? Like, what's holding you back? And one of the other guys in the coaching program replied, so not the guy that I directed this post at, but one of the other guys jumped in and said, I think it's the right mentality, as in that's what's holding you back. You don't have the right mentality. So he goes on to say to this guy, the truth is, we kind of need this, or we need this kind of hard slap sometimes. I remember mine from Andy that started this whole journey. I lost my virginity in 4 days after 29 years of being stuck. Yes, some of you might know who this is referring to. Whatever, I'll just say he doesn't mind. Ravi, I've done interviews and podcasts on my channel with him. And when he first came to me for coaching, yeah, he was a virgin. He was 29. He was very depressed about it. He didn't think he ever deserved the company of a woman, let alone sex, let alone love, let alone intimacy, all of that kind of stuff. And he came to us and said, I want to lose my virginity. My goal is to lose my virginity by the end of this year. And I said, What the fuck are you talking about? If you're serious, you will lose your virginity in the next 2 weeks. Go out and lose it. Go talk to a bunch of women, go to bars, go to a club, go hire an escort if you need to, just pay an escort. I gave him a bunch of different options. And then, like he says in this post, 4 days later, he came back and he posted in the group and he said, holy shit, I've done it. I went and saw an escort. She was a very high-class escort. I think he paid like £1,000 or something. So, roughly $1,000 US. And he said it was just like the best night of his entire life. He said it was like mind-blowing. I did an interview with him. It's on the channel. You can just search for escort and you will see the interview that I did with him. He said it was like a life-changing thing. And what that taught him, and I hope what a lot of you take from this, is a lot of the time we'll say like, I'm stuck with this thing. As he points out here, it's like this feeling of being stuck, of hopelessness, of limiting beliefs, of saying, I can't do this. In this guy's case, it's been 29 years, so why would a woman ever want me? In my case, it was, I've been in 9 years worth of just unhappy relationships, abuse, violence at times, just they weren't nice to me and I wasn't nice to them. And I had all these limiting beliefs of, if we've been in these horrible relationships for all this time, or if I've been in these horrible relationships all this time, why would I ever deserve love? Why would I deserve a woman that cares about me? Why would I deserve a woman that's nice to me? Why would I deserve any of that? I don't deserve that. I'm a piece of shit. That was kind of the limiting beliefs that were floating around my head when it came to relationships. And that was just, based on the past. And this is what we do a lot. We take what's happened in the past. If you've been a virgin into your 30s, you will look at the past and you'll say, I haven't had sex at all in the past. Therefore, I mustn't deserve to have sex in the future. It's this weird thing that we do. It's called learned hopelessness, where you've basically learned that it's hopeless. You've told yourself a story 1,000,000 times that it's hopeless, that you don't deserve to lose your virginity. Or in my case, I also had lots of limiting beliefs around money. I believed that I deserved to always be poor. I still have a metric fuck ton of tax debt to pay off, so that's still slowly being paid off. So you can say I'm still fucking poor, technically. I've always had it in my head that, like, I don't deserve money. And so that feeling, or that story that you tell yourself, repeated over and over again over years, or in my case, decade, you start to believe it, and you start to actually believe, oh crap, maybe this is true. Maybe I don't deserve money. Or in this guy's case, maybe I don't deserve to lose my virginity. Or in the original comment, the original guy that we're talking about here with the job, maybe I don't deserve to just get a job. This guy's had jobs before, but, he's been on and off with jobs from my understanding. So it's like, maybe I don't deserve to just go and immediately get a job. Maybe it has to be a big struggle. That's another thing we do a lot of the time. We will make things a big struggle. We don't realize we're doing it. We're not trying to do it, but we will really struggle with something. It will take a long time. We will self-sabotage, or we won't go all in, or we'll just be scared to really take action and to make it happen. And so we'll make it take a hell of a lot longer because we don't believe that we just deserve the thing right now. We almost feel like we have to earn it, which in a lot of cases can just become self-suffering, like you make yourself suffer. I have done this so many times in the past. You guys cannot even imagine. Literally, every goal that I've achieved so far, I have had so much doubt, so many insecurities, so much fear, so many limiting beliefs, and I have procrastinated and held back and taken my time and made myself suffer. I haven't done any of that intentionally, but I have done that with every goal. Absolutely with money. You can say I'm still kind of doing that. And I've talked about this in many videos. I don't really push my coaching that much. I don't do much marketing. Now, I don't really want to. I want to be the person who's more genuine. I want to be the person that can have like this conversation we're having right now, where I'm literally telling you stuff rather than, keeping all my cards close to my chest. I will literally just tell you guys, but that's not great marketing. I don't sit there and do these big, long marketing spiels about how great my coaching is and stuff like that. I don't have like an amazing funnel where I funnel you into it and I do this and I use fear of missing out and I have a discount on my coaching and I've done plenty of discounts on my coaching, but that's because I'm trying to bring, yes, I guess you can say I have done that. But they're not like fake discounts, you know what I mean? I think you guys know the difference. A lot of marketing is where you'll have like a permanent discount on a product, and you'll say it's like permanently this price. You'll have the big price on the page, like, $5,000. You'll cross that out and you'll have like now $3,973, save, whatever that is in maths. And you'll just have that there permanently. I've never really done stuff like that. I've never used fear of like, I've never said like you're a fucking loser if you don't sign up for coaching. I've never tried to do any of that stuff. And the point is that that's not as great marketing. So you can say I'm still suffering. Anyway, we went off on a fucking tangent there. With the gym, I've always suffered in the gym. I've always procrastinated. I've always had all this fear and I haven't gone all in. And I've had the feeling of being stuck, of like the stories that I tell myself, like I can't gain muscle. I can't have an amazing body. I don't deserve that. And the evidence that I have for that statement is I will look back at the past and say, well, I've never had an amazing body in the past. So therefore, I don't deserve one. It's this weird like thing that we do as humans. And, like if you've been a virgin for a long time, you'll say, I deserve to always be a virgin, or I don't deserve to have women in my life. Women will do the same thing. They'll say, I've never been lucky with guys. All the guys I seem to get with just can't commit to me. So I don't deserve that, or I'm never going to find the right guy. Or sometimes you turn it around on the other person. You say, men are just assholes. Men are all jerks. And all this sort of stuff we're doing when we do this, it's a defense mechanism, but it doesn't really serve us. It's hopelessness. It's giving into our limiting beliefs. It's convincing ourselves that just because something has been a certain way in the past, like we haven't achieved a goal in the past, that will always be the case. And it doesn't really serve us. It really doesn't. And so if you can resonate with any of what's, written here, that you have that feeling of being stuck just because you didn't do something in the past, or you feel like you really, really, really tried. Weight loss is a big one. How many guys and girls try and lose weight, and for whatever reason, it's usually because they're not, or it's always because they're not sticking to the action. Like they're not doing the things you need to do to lose weight. It's a very, very simple thing to lose weight. Eat less calories than you burn. That's it. That's the fucking equation. There's a million different ways of how you can achieve that, but that's it. That's the equation. That's pretty fucking simple. But how many people struggle with weight loss? I did for a long time, because we don't believe we deserve to lose the weight. We will say, I've always been chubby, or I just like food too much, and I've always liked food too much. We'll tell ourselves these stories, these limiting beliefs, these essentially lies, and they are lies. All stories are lies. We would tell ourselves these stories or these lies, and we will convince ourselves that I'm really stuck. And so I really appreciate this guy, Ravi, posting here to my other coaching client and just saying, you're stuck, dude, but like you don't have to be. He goes on to say, you could get a job, dude. Seriously, we can get this handled so fast. Yeah, you could have a job tomorrow. For a lot of you, if you're a virgin, you could lose it within 4 days like Ravi did. Go and see an escort. If you say you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not going to order someone to go and see an escort if you don't want to. But there are a million other things you can do. Go lose weight. Go hit the gym. Go start talking to women. Go outside and talk to women. Go on Tinder. Go on Bumble. Go to bars. Just meet some friends or some women through social circles. Go to meetup.com. Make a bunch of friends through there and just start talking to some women. There's things you can do. You could lose your virginity. Like I said, you could lose it today if you went and saw an escort. If you don't want to do that, then admit it's not your number one priority. If you're saying, I don't want to do that, that's okay. It will take a little longer, but the point is you can go and get it done. If it's something like money, that might take a little longer, but for a lot of you, you will say, I don't have any money right now to do X, Y, Z. It's like, go and get a second job. You could get that tomorrow. Go and get a promotion at your job. If they don't want to offer you a promotion, work on your resume and start looking for other places that you can work at. Right now in the coaching program, there are like 3 or 4 or 5 people who've just gotten a promotion or quit their job and gone somewhere better or worked somewhere with more flexible hours. They've all this happens a lot in the coaching program where the guys will inspire each other. But there's like 4 or 5 guys right now that have just either gotten a better job or quit their job and gone to more flexible hours or gotten a promotion at their work. Like, the point is, it's a lot more doable than we often tell ourselves. I think pretty much every goal is more doable than we tell ourselves. If it's something like weight loss, just start counting your calories. Do that for 2 weeks. Start walking for 20 minutes a day. Start with 2,000 calories a day and then slowly lower it until you're eating about 1,500 calories a day. Just do that over several weeks. Get it to the point where you're eating 1,500 a day. Track your calories pretty religiously. Boom, done. If you don't want to track your calories, just eat 75% as much as you usually do and see if that makes your weight start coming down. If it doesn't, then eat a little bit less and just go that way. Cut out soft drinks. There are a million different ways to achieve these goals. If it's, a women goal, like I said, just go start meeting some women. If you have no friends, go to meetup.com and just start meeting people. This is how I made friends. If you want to gain muscle, just start going to the gym. You don't even have to know what you're doing. Just turn up at the fucking gym. I've done videos and articles on how to go to the gym. The trick is just go to the gym. And that sounds like I'm oversimplifying, but what I mean is literally go to the gym. It doesn't matter what you do there. You'll figure it out. For the first month, your only mission is to just go to the gym. After that, you can start learning a workout program. You can get a trainer. You can do all of that. But just go to the fucking gym at the start. Make this stuff so unbelievably easy that you will do it, that you won't procrastinate. But, to bring it back to the original point, we often have these limiting beliefs and these lies and these stories that we tell ourselves about how we can't do something. In Ravi's case, he lost his virginity in 4 days after not doing it for 29 years. That's very common with a lot of my coaching clients. How many videos have I done now of guys who are, virgins? By the end of the coaching program, they've met like quite a few women. They've had sex. They've had an amazing time. They've explored kinks. They've just really enjoyed it. How many guys have come to me and said, at this point, I think it's like 5 who've come to me and maybe it's like 4 who've come to me and said, I want to start a business. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know what the business would be about. I don't even know how to start anything. I'm terrified. I don't even know what to do. And then by the end of it, it's like, bro, you now have like the beginnings of a business. Like one of the guys, $500 in his first month or his first 2 months or whatever it is. And he's got like 4 coaching clients. I've gotten a couple of other guys to do the same thing. I've got one guy who's working on a prototype for a product that he wants to sell, which I won't say what it is. He's kept it pretty hush-hush. But, stuff like that. It's like if you just get started. I've got another guy that's, working on selling his video game. He's making a video game. He's going to fucking sell that on Steam. So if you just get started and don't put this pressure on yourself, you'll be surprised how quickly you can handle this stuff or you can make significant progress, even if you've been stuck for like 29 years. So Ravi goes on to say, sometimes our limiter comes on and we just get stuck. It's like the car cannot go past 30 miles per hour. Yeah, I think that's a really good way of phrasing it, and that's learned helplessness. So if you want a really good book on this, there's a book by a guy called Martin Seligman, who's a PhD, like doctor, psychologist, whatever, and the book is called Learned Optimism. And it's about a concept that he actually... he didn't invent it, but he gave a name to it. He studied it. He's like the father of this field of research called learned helplessness, where, we become helpless. We think it's helpless. We think it's hopeless. We think there's nothing we can do to change. And we get like stuck. And this book that he wrote called Learned Optimism is basically about how to pull out of that, how to pull yourself out of that, how to do something when you really don't think it's going to work, how to do something when you feel completely helpless. So I'd really recommend that book. And I also wrote a very similar article on my website called What to Do When You Feel Hopeless and Helpless. I will leave a link in the description to this book, to this article. I really, really, really recommend you read through this. I've got so many like questionnaires. I've got like a video there that'll really help. I've got a bunch of resources and, you can see all the links that I've linked to. I talk about my own doubts and fears. So I would go and read that article. But yeah, we really do get stuck at times, don't we? Where we think that like there's no way that it's ever going to work. And, this is a beautiful analogy. The car has a limiter in it. It's like it can't go past 30 miles an hour. It's like we just can't stick to our gym routine. We just can't seem to lose weight. We can't seem to not, eat a bunch of junk food. We can't seem to give up alcohol. We can't seem to give up porn. We can't seem to give up binge eating, whatever it might be. We feel like we're just stuck. And like I said, I would read this article I wrote about what to do when you feel hopeless and helpless. A lot of my content is about helping you when you're in that position where you feel stuck. I have my full-on depression video. You can just search for that on my channel. I've done so many bits of content about this, but I really recommend you grab that book. It's called Learned Optimism by Martin Seligman. Just read through that. It's got a lot of steps on what to actually do when you're stuck, how to bust through that. But probably the thing that's helped me the most, and Ravi goes on to say this where he has like his practical steps here, the thing that's always helped me the most is just taking action, even when I don't think I don't think it's going to make a difference, even when I don't think it will work out, even when I have complete imposter syndrome and I think I don't deserve to take action, even when I think it's hopeless and it's helpless and what's the point and it's never going to work, like I just kind of have told myself like, yo, shut up, take action anyway, just do something. And maybe it will work out. And I'm usually just going on blind faith when I do that. Like most of the time, I don't think it will work out. You have to understand, guys, like everything I've done, I really didn't think it would work out. I've done an article about this called I Am Always Full of Doubt. This article right here, I've been so full of doubt everything I've ever done. Literally everything I've ever achieved. Like becoming a decent photographer, learning to talk to women, going through that whole like approach anxiety program, getting laid, having lots of sex, having a fulfilling, loving relationship with my girlfriend. God almighty, did I not believe, I really did not believe that I would ever deserve to have a woman care about me the way that she does, and that I would care about another soul the way that I care about her. I had just closed my heart off. I had closed my mind off to that. I really didn't think that was ever going to happen. I didn't think that anyone was going to pay me a single dollar for my website, let alone what I charge now for the coaching programs. The main coaching program is $7,000 for the 3-month program. Holy shit. I never would have thought that would be possible. That's insane to me. There are so many things that I have done. Losing weight, I didn't think that would be possible. I lost like 77 pounds. But I didn't think any of this stuff would be possible, ever, ever, ever. And I could just go on. I could list hundreds of things. I used to be the guy that couldn't do a single push-up with my knees on the ground, a female push-up as they call them. I couldn't do a single one of those. And then I deadlifted 175 kilograms at my heaviest, which is like, 400 pounds or whatever. Like, I really haven't thought that anything I've done would be possible. I thought when we started the forums that none of you would ever sign up. I thought when I started my YouTube channel, nobody would listen. I didn't think anyone would ever, I literally didn't think anyone would listen ever. And so all of this stuff that I've done, as I talk about in this article, I really didn't think any of it was fucking possible. I did it on blind faith. I really didn't think it was going to work out. I was literally just acting on blind faith. If you guys want me to do a video at some point about this concept of blind faith, I would be very happy to. I've actually been, and I've talked about this, recently, I've been reading a lot of Christianity books, a lot of Buddhism books, a lot of like spirituality books, and just listening to these religious people talk about faith and how they just have a trust in their God and they just go on complete faith. Man, it has so many parallels to my own life and my self-improvement journey and a lot of you, because I read all this stuff about, faith and stuff, and I go, holy crap, this is what I have done. Like, I didn't think it was going to work out, but I've just gone, I don't have a fucking choice. I just have to go on faith. I just have to hope it works. I just have to find out if it works. I don't even think it will work, but I have to just have faith. So if you guys want me to do a video on that topic, I would absolutely love to. Faith is such an interesting concept to me, because it seems insane, right? To do something that you don't think will work out, that you feel hopeless about, that you feel like helpless, like it's never going to work, like this is just going to be a waste of time. That's how I felt with every fucking goal I have achieved for years for some of them. And yet I still did it. That seems insane. Most of my clients just go on blind faith. I think a lot of you have this mistaken idea that the people that sign up for coaching with me must be like ass kickers and they must just have their shit together and be super confident, super motivated, just like ready to take on the world. No, most of them have so many doubts and insecurities and fears. They're freaking terrified. They really don't think it's going to work. They don't think they deserve it. That's one of the most common things that guys will confess to in our coaching program. They'll confess to the rest of the group, guys, I don't feel like I deserve to be here. And everybody else will reply and be like, bro, I don't feel like I deserve to be here either. Like, that's all of us. Yeah, welcome to the club. I will jump in and say like, dude, I don't feel like I deserve to be here. You guys are all paying me an insane amount of money. I'm just some bold retard on the internet trying to help you and change your life. Why the hell are you? I don't think I deserve to be your coach. So congratulations. That's just like normal. Insecurity can be your best friend at times because it helps you It pushes you, that insecurity, that feeling of like, I don't deserve to be here. Man, that makes you fucking hustle. And so until you get to the point where you feel like you deserve to be here, and that point will come. I say I don't feel like I deserve to be a coach, but at this point I definitely do. Just I have moments of doubt. I guess I would phrase it like that. But yeah, you push through that doubt and you just get it done anyway. And that is just blind faith. Like pretty much, I wouldn't say every, but the vast majority of my coaching clients sign up on blind faith. They don't believe that, they believe in me, but they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe they deserve it. They're worried. This is the most common question I will get when I sit down with someone on a call to see if they want to do coaching. The most common thing they will say is, do you really think I can change? And I'll say like, yeah, like why wouldn't you be able to? Like tell me the reasons why you think you couldn't change. Like let's go through them. And they'll tell me all the reasons, they'll tell me all the doubts and the fears. And it is just that. It's always just fear. It's this feeling of like, but I've been stuck in the past. Why would now be any different? What if I'm not good enough? What if I can't make it? That's like 75 to 90% of my coaching clients. I will have that conversation with them where they will ask me, do you think that I can make it? And I'm like, yeah, like what a weird question. Of course you can. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you make it? Like, it's just a weird question to me now, having gone through so many big goals. I could list all of them. There would be like 30 big, massive goals that I've achieved over the last 10 years. And I'm so incredibly grateful for the universe or the world or people, whatever it is, life, for having shown me that just because you don't believe something will work out, if you just go on blind faith, it will. If you just take action, it's blind faith with action. Let me make that clear. Don't just have faith and sit there watching Netflix and eating Doritos. Like you have to actually go outside and do something. You have to actually take some steps towards your goal. But when you're taking those steps, if you just have blind faith and don't quit, you get there eventually. So if that's a video you guys would like me to do, I would love to. But as Ravi says here in his advice, practical steps. Spend today making a big ass list of vacancies, firing off applications 50 to 100. And to be fair, this guy was already applying for about 50 a day. Call around and just being tenacious as fuck. And I think, for the resolution of this story, this guy's going to get a job. Like he absolutely is. He's already at the point where he's got a bunch of people who've said like, yeah, come work for me. He's just scared. And that's perfectly okay. Like some people are scared. I'm scared. I'm scared of almost everything I've ever done. He's got plenty of job offers. He just hasn't taken any of them. And that happens when we're scared sometimes. That's self-sabotage. But it doesn't matter if you self-sabotage. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. Just don't quit and keep pushing forwards and go on faith, and you will eventually, get the job or lose weight or meet that girl or whatever it is that you want. So, Ravi goes on to say here, we do have blocks, dude. I am experiencing something similar with cold outreach for business. So yeah, this Ravi is reaching out to other people for business and, pushing his stuff. He's building his business, and that's something I've helped him with in the group. He's come a long way. He's basically doing what I'm doing. Slightly different, but he's doing coaching. So for him, it's not sex, it's not dating, it's not business coaching, it's not really mental health coaching. It's more like accountability coaching. It's more like productivity coaching. It's more like being your biggest cheerleader and stuff. He's like trying to be a David, or he is being a David Goggins type character. So, I've helped him with that. Something I've quite a few guys at this point in the program right now, and people who've signed up recently and finished recently, is like business stuff. Like it's probably the majority of my clients at this point. And they all have dating goals as well, but most of it's honestly at this point like business and stuff. So yeah, it's been really fun. So if you're sitting there and you want coaching on business, please come join the group. There's some guys in there that are absolutely kicking ass. So Ravi finishes up by saying, me and you both will break through. Yes, if you just don't quit. That's kind of the cheat code for self-improvement. It's like, just don't quit. Take little baby actions, little baby steps, daily action every single day. And if you miss a day here and there, that's fine. But take some baby steps every day and don't fucking quit. That's kind of it. That's the shortcut or the secret to success. It doesn't sound fancy. It's not really marketable. I can't really sell that, can I? I can't sell you my program on how to make $1 million. I can't sell you my program on how to be more productive. I can't sell you my program on, blah, 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 blah. But it is kind of the cheat code. It's what every single coaching program that I've ever been in, every book I've ever bought, it all comes down to the same thing. It's like, just take some action and don't quit. Take little bits of action, don't quit. It's really only that second. I mean, you guys are the kinds of people that are already, you guys and girls are the kind of people that are already taking action anyway. So that one kind of speaks for itself, but I feel like I should throw that in there anyway. But if you're already taking action, the only thing you need to do is just never quit. That's it. That's it. It's so fucking pathetically easy and simple. It's kind of a beautiful cheat code or a beautiful gift the universe has given us. It's baked right in there into the universe. It's like, just don't quit. Any goal you have, anything you want, don't quit and you'll get it. That's it. It's really that simple. Again, that's not marketable. It's not sexy. I can't write you a book on that. I could write a book on that, actually. I mean, hell, there is a book on it, and I haven't recommended this book, have I, in this episode, or this video, but so this book here, it's called The Slight Edge, that little book there by Jeff Olson. Great book. I've written an entire guide on using it, and I'll leave a link in the description. Look at all this, I've written like a fuck ton of like extra stuff. It's basically my expansion on the book, but it's a really great book. It just talks about like taking little baby steps every day, and then just don't quit. That's it. That's the whole fucking book. But yeah, I guess you could write a book on those concepts then if Jeff Olson has. But yeah, it's very fucking simple. Just don't quit and you'll get to your goals. Now, if you would like coaching, I'll leave a link in the description below to that. Kind of tired, guys. I can't be bothered doing a coaching spiel today. So I feel like this podcast or this video is already enough of a coaching spiel, isn't it? If you guys want coaching, it's down there. If you want me to change your life, I would love to. We would love to have you on the program. You get to hang out with all the wonderful guys and girls in there. We actually only have guys in the program. I have coached a few women, but that's one-on-one coaching. Anyway, coaching down below. If you want business advice, women, whatever it is that you might want, mental health, working out, body, all that kind of stuff, whatever it is, link in the description below. Like I said, guys, I was a little bit tired for this one. I've had a crazy fucking week. I've just had an absolutely like challenging week, like a lot of personal emergencies, I guess you'd say. This was like a really rough week. So I've actually fallen a little bit behind on my 365-day project. I'm still doing one piece of content every single day, but I will catch up. My mission when I started it was not to release something every day. It was to have on the 365th day to have released 365 bits of content. So I told myself at the very start I was completely okay if I skip some days as long as I catch up on them. So, I'm going away for a week on vacation next week, which is just going to be amazing. I'm not going away for a week, actually. That's a lie. I'm going away for like 3 days or something. But like going away for a couple of days, just going to be doing like a meditation, which is just, I need that so bad. But I will catch up when I get back. I'll probably release a lot of shorts, YouTube shorts as well. Those are going really well. I love the format. It's kind of fun. You got to like cram. It's an interesting challenge because they can only be 1 minute long maximum. It's really interesting trying to like give someone actionable, hopefully life. I don't expect to change someone's life in a short, but like you're trying to change people's lives. You're trying to improve people's lives in 1 minute. It's such an interesting fucking format. It's like I'm trying to break through the like TikTok. You know how like TikTok and YouTube Shorts have this mentality or this reputation as like time sinks and like not good for you. I'm trying to like bust through that and use them for something a little more meaningful and to just bring a little bit of value. And the girl that we're dating right now, she's on TikTok as well. And she's been doing her own, like she started her own TikTok. I don't know if she started it. I don't know why she started it, but she's wanted to like help people. And so she's been like working on her own TikTok. I don't know if she wants me to show it on the screen, so I guess I won't. I can ask her that first, but damn, like this girl is like doing a really freaking good job of like self-improvement advice, like, but for women. I guess it's not specifically for women, but I suspect women will be the ones that are watching it. And she's just been like doing the same shit we're doing, where it's like, I don't want TikTok and YouTube Shorts to just be this like time sink app that people use. It's like, let's try and like give people value. Let's try and like inspire them or motivate them or give them actionable advice, which is what I've done in most of my YouTube shorts. Like, here's how you can quit alcohol. Here are 5 steps to going to the gym. Like, she's doing the same sort of stuff, but with like mental health and happiness and like self-love and shit like that. So yeah, the format's really fucking fun. I'm really enjoying that. So I'll probably crank out a bunch of YouTube shorts. On that note, if there is a particular short or even a full video or a podcast or something you want me to cover, let me know. I'll happily smash that topic. I'm always open to whatever you guys want me to talk about. Like, I think that's something maybe I don't talk about enough, or I could talk about more in my videos. I'm happy to cover any topics you guys want. I'll always be happy. There are certain things that just don't interest me. Like, I've had a couple of people in the past say, like, can you do a video on Andrew Tate? Can you talk about, like, John Anthony lifestyle? Can you talk about this other person? Can you react to this? I don't really like talking about other people unless it's, like, really positive or something. I don't really like talking about other people. I don't really do drama, so those are topics I'm just never going to handle. I'm never going to do something if it's negative. Like, I'm just not interested in negativity on this channel. We're always going to keep this nice and positive and motivational and shit like that. Loving and spiritual and hippie and all that good shit. So those are topics I won't cover. But yeah, I don't think I mentioned this enough that I'm happy to cover literally anything you guys or girls want me to. Like anything, any question you have, any topic, even topics that I've already talked to death. If you give me an interesting angle, like if you say to me, hey, what should I message a girl on Tinder? I'm going to say, are you fucking kidding me? I wrote a 130,000 word free Tinder guide on my website. Link in the description below. Like, I'm not going to cover that question. It's in there. I wrote like 50 paragraphs on like what to text and shit. But if you ask me a question that I've covered, but with an interesting angle, like, hey, I live in a super conservative country. What do you think I should text a woman? Because I'm probably not going to text her this thing. What should I do? The answer is I would, depending on the country, I would probably still send that polarizing, upfront, honest message. I've had a couple of coaching clients that have been in very conservative countries, like Muslim Asian countries, stuff like that. And obviously be careful with laws, especially if you're in a Muslim country or something like that. But in countries where they're a little bit more progressive, countries like Poland and places like that, which are traditionally more conservative, they just run the same text message and it still works. Women still want to have sex. Like, obviously check with your own culture and laws and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, for the answer for that, I'd probably say just do the same thing. Anyway, you get the point. If there's any questions or topics you guys or girls want me to cover, I would love to. You can leave them in a comment below. I will happily tackle them. Yeah, thank you for hanging out with me, guys. Like I said, this has been a really rough, challenging, interesting, crazy week. And I haven't recorded many podcasts or videos. I just kind of wanted to sit down here and rant with you guys and just hang out. And I really appreciate that you guys and girls are always so nice to hang out with. Something like that. You're all very supportive of me. You're very supportive of my girlfriend Imogen. I made a post the other day, in the YouTube comments, that Imogen had just done a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament and she'd won, and she won her first 2 fights. She only did 2 fights in the tournament. And you're all just so fucking supportive and wonderful and kind to that. So I really appreciate that. I really appreciate how much you all support me. I really appreciate that I can be having a bad day and I can just tell you guys. And yes, that's something I engineered. I did that. What I mean by that is I started telling you guys and girls about bad days I was having. I've always been very honest and open. But I really appreciate that you guys care. I really genuinely do. And like I said, it's been a very challenging week. That's the understatement of the fucking year. It's probably been the roughest week that I've had since, I don't know, like last 5 years. So it's nice that I can just do a video and know that you guys will give a shit. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate this vessel or this vehicle where I can just share my thoughts and you guys and girls will listen. I really appreciate that I can do my best to help you and that so many of you will take the advice and go out and change your lives. That's so absolutely wonderful. I appreciate all the times you leave comments or you write an email saying what you have improved and what you've worked on. I love those. I have a little document where I save all of them. I keep all of the, stories that you've all told me of how you've improved something or changed your life. Maybe I'll make them into a private book at some point. I'm not going to sell the book, don't worry. No one's going to get the book, but I just mean for my own copy. It's really meaningful to me. It's why I do this shit, right? Like, it's never been about money. For the first 2 years, I wasn't making a single fucking dollar anyway. But I really appreciate that you've all given me a chance to give back. A lot of people are very generous to me. Good Looking Loser, Caleb Jones from Black Dragon, Mark Manson. I could list like a million other people. And I always just wanted to give back and be able to like pay it forward, so to speak. So I really appreciate the opportunity. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you know what you have to do. You don't have to do anything, but here's what I would like you to do. Go out and crush your goals.